Welcome to the Voice for the Voiceless Podcast. My name's Sam from Genuine Futures. It's all about the next generation, how we support them, how we guide them, how we educate them. And Voice for the Voiceless Podcast is about giving a voice for young people who don't have one.
Episode 2. We're failing children in care and then they become homeless.
So joining me today on the podcast is Lauren Bake from Baker's Bake. Now, Lauren's, tell me a little bit of background. Lauren, just introduce yourself to the podcast.
So I'm Lauren Baker, currently have Baker's Bake, which is my current company. I've worked in numerous jobs, failed in the school system myself, always just had to get out, make money out the best way I could, whether it be selling stuff at car boots or anything. Pre-lockdown I worked in a children's home, in a 9-bed children's home, which then fell pregnant, which I had my son and I was at a loose end of not knowing where to go, no help in where to go with severe dyslexia. So I started baking in lockdown and Baker's Bake was born. Do everything myself. It is a struggle, but I just go and learn and do it how I do.
Fantastic. Great introduction, Lauren. So, Lauren, we've been talking about the young people, how they're treated. So just give us some of what's actually going on within the children's home space and looked after children. Tell me a little bit about what you've seen in that space.
From my personal, what I've seen in numerous of homes I've worked in and heard other people work in, these kids come from poverty backgrounds and they get put in different care homes in different towns, cities, and they're just basically bombarded with money which isn't realistic in a sense of shopping allowances and clothing allowances, activities, but they're not actually taught how to manage that money and out where that money comes from and how to do basic life skills. And it's just constantly take shopping, activities what cost an absolute fortune. When they get to 16 to 18, when they're out in the real world, they've not been taught how to earn money. They've not been taught any skills in a sense of how to help them survive, basically.
So is it a case of then, so what, when they get to 18, because you and I both know in terms of being in that care system, is that when you get to that age of 18, if you've not got obviously an health and social care plan, then you're just left. Yeah, you're left.
They're in halfway houses. Half of them probably wind up in situations what they've come from, and yeah, so they've got nothing to go, no skills to go and do and work, basically.
It seems to me, and being through that the care system, is I was passed around from one children's home to another children's home. I was supposed to be being looked after by the local authority, but I wasn't looked after. I had must have had about 6 or 7 social workers.
Yeah.
And I was just passed around. Have you seen it? What have you seen?
Yeah, you do see that. And half the young people I've worked with never wanted to engage with the social workers anyway. Even if we did do planned activities where it was teaching them life skills, because they weren't engaged and it was within the setting of the home, they weren't interested. They was not interested in the slightest. All they wanted to do was go on the paid activities, which was the fun activities, should we say. So I think if you bring in things what is more enjoyable, but teaching them the skills they actually need for life, which hence what Genuine Futures do, I think that would help massively.
It's deeply concerning because I've been more recently in terms of my ambassadorial role for Entrepreneurs Unlocked. I've had opportunities to visit youth offenders and young people and the prison system, and the majority of those people in the prison system have come from an excluded background, been excluded from school, or they've ended up in care. So it's like that school from care to school prison pipeline, and there seems a vicious circle. It's deeply worrying of what's going on.
It is, and there's no support. I absolutely hated school, but I had a lovely childhood, and I had somebody to fall back on, in a sense of help me guide it to where I needed to be and never give up. Whereas half of these young people don't have that.
No role models.
No role models. Nowhere to go, nowhere to turn. All the majority of the youth zone places now, they don't want to go to because it's not fun, is it, anymore? So yeah, it's trying to stop that cycle, isn't it? And trying to find them something to do, which is engage the brains and stop them ending up in that vicious circle, basically.
Absolutely, and we've been talking about some exciting, we know, as you've seen, Lauren, over the past, since January when we took Genuine Futures on the road.
Yeah.
We're building something here together as a collaboration. We can see that we can fill a gap. We know that we have got young people engaged in our activities, and we're looking to reach out to schools, reach out to children's homes, whether that be private or local authority, of how we can give these young people some meaningful life skills, opportunities, and help them in their future.
Yeah, 100% agree with that, and hopefully we can bring to the table what we've been talking about and hopefully change some young people's lives for the better.
I think so, and I think it is. Watch this space.
Yeah, we're coming.
We're coming. Genuine Futures is coming. So it's bye from me.
And bye from me.
Well, thank you for listening to Voice of the Voiceless Podcast.